Dan Bongino's leaving Fox. Really?
Wow.
Let me look that one up. All right, let's play this. Get this ad out the way. There we go. All right.
Tune for later in the show. Fine. So I've got some personal news to share. Let's just get right to it. Folks, regretfully, last week was my last show on Fox News, on the Fox News channel. I haven't told Joe that. I know Guy, who's in the office with me, knew before the show. I did let my team know here this morning. And it's tough. It's tough to say that. You know, I've been there doing hits and working there for 10 years. Appearances. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk in media jargon. Appearances on the network for, I think, close to 11 years. So the show ending last week was tough. And I don't want you to, it's not some big conspiracy. I promise you there's no acrimony. This wasn't some like WWE brawl that happened. We just couldn't come to terms on an extension. And that's really it. Sad part is, again, I really enjoyed myself there. And, you know, they were good to me for 10 years. I mean, it allowed me to do a show called Unfiltered. Did what we wanted to do over there and covered the topics we wanted to cover. And it's a sad day. It's a sad day. They did give me the opportunity to do one last show. I don't want you to think they like showed me the door. That's on me, not on them. But I just thought it was best to kind of go this way for now. Like I said, it's not acrimonious. I have a great team over there. You know, I want to thank everyone. We especially want to thank first a woman by the name of Lauren. Why is this hard? I didn't think this was going to be hard. Really, she really took a chance on me early on at Fox. I knew when nobody knew who I was. So she's just a really good person. And Megan and Suzanne, the boss over there, for giving me a lot of opportunities. And I had a great team, folks. You might not know them. You're probably never going to meet them. But when you saw the show, I assume a lot of you enjoyed it. We went out as number one. We were the number one show last week, and we were the number one show about 90% of the time. We had a great team.
Wow. So I said Dan Bongino gone from Fox News.
Yeah, and in case anybody's wondering, I mean, Dan's not going to be hurting. He's got one of the largest podcasts in all of the country.
And he's a Rumble investor, too.
He's a Rumble investor, too. I will say this, he never one time, and I watch Unfiltered quite a bit, not every Saturday, but a couple times a month maybe. And he never one time backed off supporting Trump that I can remember ever on his show. Like, you know, as it seems like some on Fox News are trying to veer away from Trump. He never once tried that. There's about eight entities over at Fox that are still very pro-Trump pretty much all the time. And I'm sure they wouldn't pay him enough. Fox News contributors make anywhere from about $30,000 to about $600,000 or $700,000, but I'm sure he was making more because he had his own show. That's a big difference, right?
He has a massive show.
But he's got a huge podcast following. He's making money on live streams on Rumble. So, you know, it's going to be no big deal. It's going to be interesting to see what he does, to see if he decides to do anything on television. You know, I don't know where he would do it necessarily because I don't think Newsmax. I mean, he could go to Newsmax and they could put him on 5 days a week in primetime.
Yeah.
He would be their biggest draw immediately.
If I'm Newsmax, I'm calling that guy.
I'm giving him the house.
I think he fits a lot better with Newsmax anyway.
Absolutely.
I mean, Newsmax is amazing. You know, I love my guy, Chris Salcedo, man. That's my guy right there.
He needs to be elevated. I like Chris.
Chris. But you know what?
I like Greg Kelly, you know.
Chris, man, boy, he would be public enemy number one. Imagine putting Chris Salcedo on Fox. Boy, in primetime, he would be crushing it. I love his morning Houston show. I was actually listening to it this morning when I went to get breakfast. Chris Salcedo, man, he's the man.
And
He's the
his show's available on Pod too.
Yeah, you can actually watch his morning show, his Houston show. You can download the KSEV app. You can watch it on Rumble. You can watch it on Getter.
It's all a lie, folks. They will lie. The mainstream media will. The things that, that didn't sound quite right. CNN, not a word. Where are you, Don Lemon, on that one? Where were you on Pelosi in the fields? Oh, wasn't there? Interesting. Weird.
Yeah.
Joy Reid.
Speaking
Did you
of
do
Don
a
Lemon,
rant? Did you do a rant about that one? Read out? Did you do that? No, you probably missed that one.
Speaking of, did you see Vivek Ramaswamy just destroy Don Lemon?
I heard about that. I
You
heard
haven't
about
seen
that. I have not seen it.
Oh
no.
man, I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I heard it was a bloodbath.
Boy, I mean, it's just. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I meant to actually. Yesterday, I meant to tell you that should be one of the topics here. Oh, here it is, right here. Benny Johnson actually has it right here. You haven't heard it yet.
No.
Okay. Let's go ahead and react to Don Lemon. Now,
Didn't he write Woke Incorporated? That
I think he
book?
did. I think he did. Now, he's running for president.
Right.
And I got to say, man, if Trump wasn't the guy out of the declared people right now, no doubt this guy would get my vote.
Well, look, I've got to say this. The Republicans, conservatives, we've got a pretty decent bench. If it came down. Yeah, we got a decent bench.
We got a decent bench. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, I would say about, if you want to throw DeSantis in 3 deep with this guy, I wouldn't vote for Nikki Haley. I wouldn't vote for Mike Pence, Liz Cheney. I wouldn't vote for those people.
No. There is one up and comer, but I contend he needs to slow down a bit. I know he's talking about running. Francis Suarez,
Okay.
the Miami mayor, they were talking to him.
I haven't paid too close attention to him, but you said he's great.
Oh my God, the work that tells you right there. We're talking about the city that spawned the cocaine cowboys at one time, a war zone in Miami. He has cleaned Miami up. I mean, it's unreal. When everybody defunded the police, he doubled the funds of the Miami police force, literally.
Good.
And then, but I would say he needs to slow down. When DeSantis runs for president in 2028, Suarez needs to run for governor, become governor, and then there could be a natural handoff going on from Trump to DeSantis to Suarez. He's got long-term potential. He really does. I like that guy a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look here. This Benny Johnson right here. Don Lemon utterly triggered after Vivek Ramaswamy owns him on Civil War and black gun rights on his own show. Yeah, he really tried to end this thing. I mean, let's watch.
That war was fought for black people to have freedoms in this country.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why the Civil War was fought.
Okay.
And the sad
But that
part
wasn't
about it,
fought for black people to have guns. I think.
actually, you know, a funny fact is black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that's one of the lessons that we
still
learned.
aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I
as well
disagree
in
with
this
you.
country.
You heard what Don Lemon just said right there? He said blacks aren't able to enjoy the freedoms right now. I'm going to go back.
The other
is
freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that's one of the
But black
lessons that
people
we
still
learned.
aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I
as well
disagree
in
with
this
you
country.
on that, Don. I disagree with you. And I think you're doing a disservice to our country
okay.
by failing to recognize the fact that we
when
have
you are
equality
in
before
black
the law.
skin and you live in this country, then you can disagree with me. But we're not. You mentioned that we
I
have
disagree.
3 different shades
Don, I
of
think we have to be
melanin
able to
here.
talk about these issues and be
So since Vivek is not black, he doesn't get it. But yet, Don Lemon is saying that black people aren't enjoying the freedoms right now. Look at him. He is one of the most successful black people out there right now. Even though I don't agree with his politics, Don Lemon's very successful on TV, right?
You are a gay black man that has one of the biggest positions in all of media, even though it's horseshit media, it is still media. You're on CNN.
Yeah.
They have jumped through hoops to keep you employed, even though you've continued to have all these missteps.
Right.
And you're trying to act like you ain't got no freedoms. You hypocritical prick.
Don Lemon he's a gay black man from the South. And CNN will not fire him. And women think he's a misogynist, and he still has his job.
We haven't come anywhere as a country. What would happen to Don Lemon, let's say in 1820? Think
Don
about
Lemon,
it.
Yeah.
If he's a known gay black man, what would happen to him in 1820?
Well, I think on this clip here, well, no, it's another clip, so never mind. I mean, forget about that. Gay people in general in 1820, nah, you weren't going anywhere in 1820. I don't care what color you were.
Well, they keep telling us that there's been no progression made. That's
Don
what
Lemon's out there saying that.
Yeah.
And he's saying that since Vivek isn't black, he can't speak on this.
Open regardless of the color of our skin. Black Americans today, to say that, compare that to 1865 and 1964,
I think for you to compare it to
absolutely
1865 and
have equal
1964
rights in
is
this country.
actually, I think it's insulting to black people. It's insulting to me as an African American. I don't want to sit here and argue with you because it's infuriating for you to put those things together. It's not right. Your telling of history is wrong.
What part of the history was wrong?
What part of the history was wrong? That the Civil War was fought. You're making people think that the Civil War was fought for black people, only for black people to get guns and for black people.
He never said that. See, Don Lemon now is making up stuff. He did not say that.
The Civil War was fought for black people in this country to get freedoms.
Freedoms. That's the key word.
Noble mission. And I think that even after we succeeded, we had to actually secure those freedoms.
To reduce it in a speech at the NRA to say you're making people think, or you're trying to say that black people to get guns, that was the reason that you're there at the NRA. That was the reason for the Civil War.
It is a fact.
That's reductive.
It's not
and
reductive.
I think it's insulting. There were a whole plethora of reasons that for the Civil War.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of
hang on, please. I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on 1 second. So to say that black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the civil rights movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to.
And you know how they got it? They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role.
Absolutely, they trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact. But Don, the part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact,
the part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have
the freedoms that black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
but
me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're sitting here, whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have.
I mean, Don Lemon just kind of like, that was kind of low key racist right there by Don Lemon. Like, he's like, whatever kind of, what do you say? Whatever kind of, let me go back.
Low key? I don't know if that was low key, to be honest with you.
All right, let me listen again.
And that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate without me regarding you as a black man, but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're sitting here, whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me.
Whatever ethnicity you are explaining to me. Oh, God.
Whatever ethnicity I'm,
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I'm, I'll tell you
Hey,
what I am. I'm an
can you
Indian
imagine if he would have said that back to Don Lemon in the same way? Explosion.
Oh boy,
Oh, end of the world.
end of the world.
American. I'm proud of it, but I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the content of the
If you're
ideas.
going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way.
What? Oh, come on.
Wow. What a joke.
And right after that, I believe Don Lemon said they ran out of time or something like that.
I'm sure they did.
Because I believe
Getting
the
his ass
producers
handed to him.
I believe the producers were in his ear. That's why he's like, shut up or something like that. I don't know. Remember exactly what he said. But Rhodes, that's the first time you saw that.
Yeah. 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 He, see, you know what leftists don't like? They don't like facts.
No.
They don't like facts. And they hate facts.
I'm still, you know what, me being a Negro, I'm trying to figure out now, based on Don Lemon, what the hell kind of rights I don't have right now. I'm still trying to figure that out. I went and bought a gun last year. White people sold it to me. I didn't have a problem.
They let you purchase that, correct?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I bought a home 8 years ago. I'm black. I was black then too, I think. I'm trying to figure out what's holding me back.
So you're telling me that nobody actually on your street blocked off the street as you were getting ready to show up to move into said house? They did not.
No.
You're not allowed here.
You see, both my neighbors on either side of my house, they're Latinos.
Oh.
I got an Asian family right down the road from me. There's white people around this neighborhood too. No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody was stopping me from buying anything. I'm still trying to figure out these freedoms I don't have, Don Lemon. I bought a car years ago. I never had trouble voting when I wanted to vote. I'm still trying to figure it out, Don Lemon.
Again, somebody talking about not having rights as a gay black man on a cable news network making
Don
I
Lemon
don't know
has-
how many, probably millions of dollars a year in his position right now.
Don Lemon has more privilege than me.
It's the same premise. Look, I did a video on the other sports channel this morning. There's a war going on Twitter right now. Brady Quinn, you remember Brady Quinn?
Yeah.
He's being canceled today by Ryan Clark and somebody else. I can't remember. He's Jalen Ramsey of the Dolphins. They're trying to cancel him because Brady Quinn brought up something about C.J. Stroud. He's the Ohio State quarterback coming out in the draft. And race got brought up. Race got brought up. And so they started trying to do the whole, here we are trying to hold the black quarterback down.
The
Shannon black
Sharp was
quarterback.
doing that. He was doing that with when Jalen Hurts signed his deal. He's like, "Oh, you see, we can actually play quarterback now," or something like that. I'm like, if you look at the top 5 highest paid QBs of all time, they're all black or blackish. Patrick Mahomes, I think Dak. Who else on there? Russell Wilson.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Bryce Young a black man?
Yeah, he's probably going to go number 1.
He's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Okay. Just that was my only question. That's just it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man.